Hey everybody, welcome back to Dredge. This is going to be a very short stream because I did promise I was going to show the endings and I was going to do trophy cleanup. Well, today I worked from home, so I spent some time working on something that I thought I was going to be able to kind of bridge the gap between working on the encyclopedia and getting close to finishing the encyclopedia. And unfortunately, the way things kind of worked out was the last few things that I needed were the things that were the most time consuming. The anchovy king, which is an aberration of the anchovy, and the scarlet prawn, they all have to be caught in the open ocean with the trawl net. And because it was the last three things that I needed to catch, I didn't want to come on stream and then be sailing around the map for 3 hours and not accomplishing anything. So unfortunately, I ended up completing the encyclopedia. But let me show you a little bit about where we are. So really all we have left is the endings. And there's one small trophy I can get. Again, you can't see the trophies because I'm streaming directly from the PS5. So Share Factory doesn't allow that. But here we are. This is another thing that I did save. What I realized was the final message that I was looking for was actually at the campsite in Devil's Spine that we stopped at while we were working on those pursuits. And of course the old mayor was there when we stopped by because we had collected 4 of the 5 relics. We had our conversation with the mayor, and then I went back as I was working on the encyclopedia and gathering materials and so forth, and I raided the campsite, which was now empty, and the only thing that was there was the final note, 12 of 12. And here's what the ragged note says. Close now, nobody knows, does he know? Desecrated temple, forgive me, the only way he might understand. Must help him, must stop him. So there you go, that was the final note. We now have all the notes. And we now have 128 of 128. Here, right here is the thing that took me the longest. My dishwasher is emptying in the background. Sorry if you can hear that. Kind of scared me a little bit. But this anchovy king was the last thing I needed to catch, and it was the final aberration, so it got me aberration attractor. And let's go to open ocean here. These were the last 2 regular fish, regular fauna, I should say, that I had to catch. And my mistake was I didn't realize, and I don't know if I did this in my first playthrough, I don't know if I ever actually upgraded all the way to the final trawl net, but I was using a net that could not catch oceanic fish. So I was working for about 3 hours, and it was all in vain. I would never be able to catch these 2 with the net that I was using, but since these are both only caught by trawl, of course the shrimp, the scarlet prawn here, it's caught by crab pot, but you don't know where to put the crab pot. You know, now once you catch it the first time, it'll show up in like all your crab pots. That's how it, at least that's how it worked for my first playthrough. But these were the last 2 that I needed. Otherwise, I used a mixture of just fishing with rods and atrophy to get the rest of the aberrations. One that gave me a lot of trouble that took me forever to find was the Devil Ray here, because it's only at night in Gale Cliffs, and its location, I don't even remember where I found it either time that, that I played this game. It was very hard to find, and so I used I know where it was. It was kind of close to the campfire site, but in between the cliffs. So you have to kind of like hang out inside those narrow areas of the cliffs, and you have to deal with the cyclop serpent or whatever, one-eyed serpent. So, and it had to be at night. It took me a while to figure out it was only at night, but eventually I found it. I used atrophy to get the aberration, and I mean the same with the sturgeon and a couple other things that I needed to get. One of the wreckfish aberrations here, and a bunch of other things. So, Stellar Basin, we spent some time there, and we went back and forth, and we got everything that we needed. These two aberrations I caught as well today, earlier. But everything's in here now. We have all 128. So that takes care of that. We got Master Angler and Aberration Attractor, those trophies for doing that. And this was the net that I had to use, excuse me. This was the net that I had to use in order to catch it, because this is the only one that's oceanic. And because of that, I got the fully upgraded trawl nets trophy, which, if I go to look at it, I won't be I won't have this game on the screen, and we don't want to do that. So so anyway, I wanted to do what I promised. Oh, by the way, here we go. Here's the anchovy. Here's the scarlet prawn, and here's the anchovy king. Finally caught all of them. So we're gonna go ahead and sell that. Why not? $262. Unfortunately, we can't buy a research part here. We are so very close to wrapping up things, so we may as well start with the harvesting platform, 150%, coastal, shallow, oceanic. We're gonna get that, and that gives me the researcher rods trophy. All we have left is the one more in engine and one more in pots. As I said, I already had to fully upgrade all the nets. If I remember correctly, I think it's 12 altogether research parts for the crab pots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 10 over here. Engines and rods, I think, were all 20. It's like 1 and then 2, so that's 1 and then 3. These are both, I think, 2 or 3. I don't remember. I think they might have both been 3. So 3, 7, 10. And that was 1, and that was 4 together, these two. 8, and that was just 5. I don't know. I remember the final total being 20 for rods and for engines. And then nets, I think that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I guess it was 12 for this one. Something like that. But that's what you need. And I mean, we haven't been really hurting too bad. I've been doing a lot of fishing, using the net a lot, trying to work on getting everything together. So, I got plenty of money, and we're doing pretty good. But unfortunately, like I said, we can't buy research parts here. So, why are we here? So, in the last stream, we did talk to the old mayor, and I came by and talked to the lighthouse keeper before talking to the old mayor, and for some reason, it didn't work for me. Now, I have not tried this. I don't know what's going to happen, but I would like to talk to the lighthouse keeper and see if we have a different conversation choice here. What is it? Oh, here we go. This is exactly what I was looking for. What do you know about the Silver and Crimson book? Now, the old mayor told us about the book, and he mentioned that it was silver and crimson. She showed us at the very mention of the book, but I know in my other playthroughs, when I'm talking to her, I was allowed to ask her about the old mayor before I even met the old mayor. And we had a conversation about it in my other playthroughs, in both of my other playthroughs. So I don't know why it didn't allow us to have that conversation with her. She shudders at the very mention of the book. You're really asking me after all this time? You know it must be returned. She looks at you with deep pity. You have to move on, for her sake as well as yours. Take control. Be rid of that thing once and for all. And that is, I mean, that basically sets up the good ending if we want it. I am going to just quickly travel. You know what? I'm going to actually sleep. I'm going to sleep, and then we're going to quickly travel to Gale Cliffs to buy what I assume will be the last 2 research parts. I also want to discard a few more fish, because that's the last trophy I need to get. Otherwise, to discard 25 fish altogether, I've only discarded about 3 or 4, so we're going to be catching them and throwing them back, basically, which is is actually something that the game tells you to do a couple times, throw it back, you know. So we are going to go take care of that. I'm actually going to lift the trawl net. We do not need any more fish. And we're going to go ahead and, you know what the heck? Let's just do it right here. I guess it would make more sense if I got the increased fishing speed, but that's fine. Oops. What I mean was throw it back. So in my first playthrough, I did this as I was trying to get aberrations in between uses of atrophy, because you can only use that once every 24 hours. Oh, I don't want to catch it. I don't want to catch a shark and throw it back. That seems like a waste. So I'm excited about wrapping this game up. Not any offense to the game. I have really enjoyed my time with it, but I'm looking forward to starting my next game, which is going to be Returnal. Finally playing that after having my PS5 for probably about 18 months now. That's not true. 13 months. I got it last year in April, and it's only May right now. Oh, I keep forgetting what I'm doing here. We might keep at least one, you know, why not? No, we're gonna throw this away. And I might actually be checking out Humanity, which just entered PlayStation Plus Extra. Looks like a fun little puzzle game. But yeah, Returnal, God of War, and there's Unwanted. I just got the Unwanted trophy for discarding 25 fish. So that's all done. And we are going to round things out here in just a second. I'm just going to go quickly get some research parts. So we're going to go to Gale Cliffs, which is in the opposite direction over here. Yeah, a ton of games I have not made time to play yet, so I'm looking forward to trying to spend the better part of the summer correcting that and catching up on some of the best games, as far as I've heard, that have come out in the last few years. I tend to become a little myopic and kind of focus on one game for too long when I'm working on a trophy guide. And this one, I think I've spent the right amount of time with it until they release the DLC, which will, be in probably 6 months. I'm not sure when they're going to do it. I forget what the timetable was. All right, we got 2 research parts. I think we can go ahead and finish all this up. So there is the final engine, and that gave me researcher engines. And then the final crab pot gives me researcher pots. So all we have left is the 2 endings and the platinum. So, you know what, why not? It's nighttime. I'm kind of curious how this works here. We are going to have a conversation with the collector here. Now, so originally, once we handed in the 5th relic, in order to start the end game and actually work on the bad ending, the only conversation choice we had was "I'm ready," and that was basically going to board the boat with the collector, and then he was going to take us to where we needed to go. But now that we've talked to the lighthouse keeper and the old mayor, we get a second option. Tell me more about that book of yours. So what I'd like to do is, again, this isn't going to ruin progress and force us to play the game a second time in order to get the other ending, but there are 2 endings here, and I like to consider it, there's actually 3 endings. You can pick "I'm ready," and just that's it, and you get the bad ending, and you don't know anything else. Or you can get this, and you can still get the bad ending. Or you can go this, and you can go talk to the lighthouse keeper and get the good ending. So let's start the process here. Which book? This one here. With a wry grin, he pulls a dusty tome from the nearest shelf and glances at the cover. There's really not much to be said of histories of the Grey Isles. It's quite a chore. So at any point, if you don't want to know the backstory and you want to head on into the bad ending with ignorant bliss, you could always say forget it, and you'll be back at the beginning of the conversation. But we're gonna forge ahead. Don't play dumb. You know which book I mean. Play dumb. Your hypocrisy is wearying. I suppose we must go through this rigmarole yet again. The Book of the Deep appears in his hands, sheathed in its dirty crimson jacket. Go ahead, ask us. Where did you get it? Sparkling dust motes hang in the air between you. Don't you remember? You were there. The air around the book begins to pulse rhythmically like a quickening heartbeat. So was she. Now we could ask further. I guess we'll ask further. You wanted to forget. Begged me. The room bristles. This is what you asked for. And now we're going to start asking for the book. Give me the book. Your words hang in the space between. You won't change a thing. The book is ours. Step closer. You take a step closer through the crackling room. The collector lurches forwards in response. What can you possibly hope to achieve? Take the book. You strike out with your right fist, punching hard into the jaw of the collector. His face shatters and falls to the ground. Revelation. You're pathetic, says the collector, or us. The Book of the Deep is in your hands. Understand this plainly. Before you sink us into despair, I know how to bring her back. It's all right there on the pages, and now you've seen its power firsthand. We wield the power to release her from her slumber. Find her last relic, and we can undo everything. Undo what you did. That's interesting. So this is the same conversation, even if you only find 4 relics. I imagine that you would still get this, and he would still tell you to find the pocket watch for the bad ending. So, and that ends the conversation there. So I have the book. I can go get the good ending, or I can talk with the collector further, knowing that I am the collector, and get the bad ending. Let's go ahead and get the bad ending first. We'll end on a positive note. So here we are, we have the book, we know we are the collector. So we're going to say, I'm ready. We must make one final voyage. This time I will be with you. I'm ready. And so this is when the game tells you, this is the final phase of the game, your progress will not be saved. Do you wish to continue? Which is a weird thing, and to warn you twice. That, yeah, you're going to see the ending, and we're not going to save your progress, and you're going to come right back to this point. I don't understand why they ask you twice, but either way. The relics are coming with us. We should wait for the fog to thicken. With luck, the seeds will remain unaware of our intentions. This is why I was kind of curious what was going to happen if we did this at night. Oh, okay. We go to 1 a.m., I guess. Now our destination is the open expanse to the west of Great Amaro. It's marked on the map. We must not tarry on the open waters, not with such a significant cargo. Make haste. His shape disappears from the mirror. A chill rises in your body as you turn to leave. The collector is with you. So either time, if you don't have that conversation and you get in the boat, it basically tells you the collector is with you and comes, along for this journey. So now we are ready, and we are going to follow the red light, which is over here. Let's put on haste. I'm going to try not to hit anything, but honestly, it's a very quick journey. Just if we damaged our engine, it would just make it a little more difficult. Alright, we're going to go here and enjoy the ending. I'm going to let this play out. I'm not going to read any more. If you are unfamiliar with how this ends and what the bad ending is, I'm going to let it play out here. I was quite surprised by that ending the first time I saw it, and I was just blown away. There's something very epic about this game with its art direction, and it's kind of soothing and comfy kind of gameplay and kind of addictive. I didn't realize the music did that. Loop, the game loop is just so wonderful to just keep going through, and to have that ending, which is simplistic and at the same time just like makes you realize how small we are compared to the things that are lurking in the deep of the waters. And of course, here this is the bad ending, as you can see, because Greater Morrow is burning, as probably the whole world is, or at least the surrounding area. And this was one of the endings that was foretold at the ancient lighthouse. So you could probably let this song play on a little bit longer, but I think you get the idea. I got one of the trophies of the two. I can't remember which one is specifically this one. It's either Unshackled or the other one, which I can't remember what it is. I don't think it's Unshackled. I think Unshackled is the good ending. But we're going to go ahead and skip this, even though this music is quite enjoyable. But let's go ahead and pick it up from where we just left off and go get the good ending. Which, to be honest, not nearly as epic, but it's always good to end on a good note, So we've had the conversation. We know that we are the collector. We know that the book and all these relics are about us. All of these notes that we've read this whole time, they're our story and our wife that we married, and then we christened the boat, and the whole christening and the whole ritual of the things with the boat, it didn't go well. Now we know. So we are going to take this knowledge and the book, which is in our hands now, and bring them to the lighthouse keeper. I'll let her know. What do you know what this is? Wait a minute, I should have the book. I'm pretty sure I have the book. I don't know, something seems a little off about the lighthouse keeper and the conversations we're having with her. I'm very confused. What the heck? Okay. Let's go back. Well, I am super confused now. I don't know if this is something that got changed with the patch. This is very odd. Oh. Okay, that's my fault. That because I docked here, that's why. It did not save the part where I took the book from him, because I never left the dock and then docked again for it to save. That was my problem. Okay, I apologize for that. We're just going to quickly go through the dialogue here. When I did this on my first playthrough, I got the bad ending first without taking the book from him, I believe, first, and then I took the book and then did some more stuff, like finished the encyclopedia and things like that. I know I had the book in my possession, and then I went off to do some other things before working on at least one, if not both of the endings. I think I did wait to do both the endings. Either way, now we have the book. And now we're going to talk to the lighthouse keeper. Okay, I have the book. That's what we want to see. And basically, we're just going to go to the same place we went. And just the final outcome is going to be just a little different. I have the book. You've had it this whole time. Have you not? It doesn't matter. Make the most of this window of lucidity. Now is the time to act. Do you still remember where it happened? In that gloomy darkness behind the bay. When you are ready, I'll point the way. I'm ready. I'm ready. Same thing. They tell you twice. We're not going to save. See, even being told twice, I forgot they weren't going to save, and I had to relive that conversation one more time. We must wait until night is thickest. I mean, it's not that far away. Until the ocean is as it was all those years ago. So 1 a.m. It's time. I'll point the way. Follow my light. Go and do what's right for her. Throw it back. We're just gonna put haste on, and like I said, we're basically going the same place we just went. I'll show you on the map. See? We're just leaving from a slightly different place. Sorry, the glare in my office here is making it a little hard to see where I'm going. So the first time we threw all the relics in, and this time we're just going to throw the book. I'll let this play out as well. So instead of laying siege upon the Marrows and possibly the other 4 areas, we instead sacrifice ourselves to the behemoth of the deep and remove ourselves from the story, basically. And therefore, life goes on for everybody else. So, that's the good ending. We lose our life, but we end up doing the right thing. So there you go. That's both endings, and I did get the sated trophy just now, as well as the platinum. Again, it stinks that you can't see it when I'm streaming directly from the PS5, but some people don't really care about trophies. That is their own prerogative, but that's the whole reason I make content, is to show trophy guides and to show that whole trophy hunting aspect of PlayStation and playing games. So I like to show that off, and I like to make that part of the content I make. Either way, we got the platinum. We're all done. I'm going to be wrapping this game up, and we're moving on to the next thing. As I said, that's going to be Returnal, but I imagine it might not be something I stream, though I know it's definitely a really streamable game, because anything can happen in that game. And I have played through the first biome, and I feel pretty confident that I can at least get through it in under 50 tries, I'd say. Hopefully it doesn't take me 50 to get to the first biome and to defeat Frike, but we'll find out, I guess. Maybe here, maybe not. Maybe on YouTube, possibly. This has been Imaginary Completionist here on Twitch. Penny Sticks on YouTube. These videos, I imagine, will be put up there just so I have them for safekeeping, in case it helps. You know, we tested out various things. The only thing I didn't test out was whether or not the hooded figures were actually not timed and whether you could complete them. The fact that the loose jaw wasn't where it was supposed to be had me a little worried that maybe some of the other changes they meant to make didn't get made. And maybe I'll test it out, and I'll just start up a hooded figure and then, you know, sleep for 30 days and come back and see if he's still waiting for that first fish. But everything else seemed to check out. It seemed to work better. We used the map markers a whole lot more. They really ended up being very useful, and everything else kind of was just more streamlined and was more user friendly. So really like what they did with it. I mean, again, one fish not being in one place, but being close enough that you can still do what you need to do without any inconvenience. You know, that's a very, very small complaint in the scheme of things. So hopefully you enjoyed this series. Hopefully you maybe you learned something. Maybe I helped you in some way. I do hope it helped, and hope to see you in the next one. We'll end it there. Take care.